Hello everyone, this is Lord Rimuru. I am here to bring you guys fanfiction that you will surely enjoy. But before we get on to the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more amazing content.
Prologue. Hello, it's me Rimuru Tempest, the Demon Lord Slime, who is well known for world domination, and at the moment I am in the biggest boredom of my life. It has been several years since the final battle against Yuki. This battle was quite difficult and it took a long time to repair all the damage, but after a while the world was stabilized and now everyone can live in peace. What do I think about this? It is boring. My subordinates take care of everything for me and I have nothing to do. Our civilization is not that evolved, so it's not like I can play video games or anything. The only way I am entertained is when I am with a certain person. Today I decided to do something to escape this boredom. I then talked with my skill Seal, who is the smartest person I know. Seal then suggested something to me. Filled circle, filled circle, filled circle. I gathered all my executives and important friends in the boardroom. Everyone was sitting at a large table and I stood up to speak. Okay, I'm going to be reincarnated in another world. I declared as if it was something normal, obvious, just as I thought it caused. Ha! Everyone got dumbfounded expressions and let out confused groans. Their reaction was normal since I didn't say anything about it before. Rimuru-sama. What do you mean? Rigurd came forward and asked me. The others also seemed to want to know. Exactly what I said before. I've been bored and these last few years have been wanting a more lively life. Don't worry. I will come back in a maximum of 100 years and leave everything here with you. I will also leave contact methods in case of emergencies. I talked to Seal and was told that since I am a higher level spirit form I don't need a body or anything like that, so I will reincarnate in my old world. So I can reincarnate by transferring myself into a human body. I explained and everyone had thoughtful faces. Some of them looked like they didn't want that, but no one seemed to want to stop me. That was the tip Seal gave me to get out of my boredom. I don't know in which universe I will be reincarnated because I left everything to Seal, but since I trust him, I think it will be a great life. Ch1 and Diablo came closer and bowed deeply. Rimuru-sama, allow us to go together. They spoke and I rejected it on the spot. I didn't want them doing everything for me in the other world. That was because I would probably get bored again. No, this is something I want to do alone. Besides, I need you guys to take care of things here. They looked reluctant but did not object to my words. They raised their heads and returned to their seats. The others also seemed to want to go along with me, but said nothing. I then continued to speak. Okay then, I'll say goodbye to the people and go tomorrow. I will leave an unwilling clone that you can control so that my trip doesn't become public. The meeting is adjourned. I would leave a clone so as not to make anything public. If the most powerful demon lord of them all wasn't around, several rebellions could happen and that would be problematic. I would leave a clone so as not to make anything public. If the most powerful demon lord of them all wasn't around, several rebellions could happen and that would be problematic. I said goodbye to several people important to me and people who needed to know. The rest I left with my subordinates. I have extreme confidence in them. By the way, when I told my friend Veldora about my trip, his reaction was, "Kuahaha, don't worry, as long as I'm here nothing will happen." That kind of sentence was typical of him, so I just smiled and agreed. Filled circle, filled circle, filled circle, producing new body, age 1 day, gender, not existing. Wait, Seal-san, it's going to be weird that I'm a genderless human, make me a male body. A day later I said goodbye and then started to reincarnate. I won't explain this process to you because when Seal explained it to me even I didn't understand, so I just said, reincarnate me into a fun life, and the process started. Producing new body, age 1 day, gender, not existing. Wait, Seal-san, it's going to be weird that I'm a genderless human, make me a male body. Seal-san? Seal-san. Okay. These times I've been thinking that Seal looked like Sayums of the girls close to me, but there's no way my ability is in love with me, right? Right. Algorithmically blushing. I thought Seal was acting weird, but it must be my imagination. Seal then continued the process. Okay, male body formed, baby size, world. Land, country of origin. Japan, parents' name. Nagumo Shu and Nagumo Sumayer. Okay, it looks like a normal family. Then I wonder why Seal-san said it would be a fun life. Actually, don't tell, I don't want spoilers of my life. Okay. Rimuru told Seal not to tell him too much about things or life would lose its fun. Seal has always followed his orders and did not object. Body ready reincarnation started. When I opened my eyes I saw a hospital room. I was expecting this since I was going to be reincarnated as a baby. The strange thing was that I heard a baby that was not me crying. I didn't even have time to look around as I felt it patting me on the back. Would that be the time I cry? I thought and started to act out a cry. Boo-ah boo-ah boo-ah. I made the best fake cry I could so they wouldn't think I was a weird baby. Meanwhile I heard my new parents talking. Honey, it's 2 boys just like I said it would be. Since I got it right, they will be the names I chose, okay? Do you want to hold them? Yes. As I suspected, the other cry was from my twin brother. My parents seem to have gambled with our birth, which makes me realize that this family may not be as normal as I thought. I was still staging the cry when the doctor placed me in my mother's arms. I looked at her, analyzing her appearance. Hi, you'll be called Rimuru from now on. You're so beautiful, so cute, and those beautiful eyes. Golden? My brother's name is Hajime and mine is Rimuru. Seal must have done something for my name to be the same, probably some kind of mental induction. I decided to keep the same appearance, so my mother was quite surprised by my golden eyes. She will probably freak out when my blue hair starts to grow. I hope they don't think I am some kind of alien baby. And so my new life began. Chapter 1, Invocation Monday. The worst day of the week. Many people sighed at the thought of that day, and this young man was no exception. Nagumo Hajime was an ordinary young man who hated school as a dark place that let him down. Treegon. As always, when the bell rang, he crept into the classroom, opened the door and walked in. At that moment several students clicked their tongues and looked at him with contempt. The female students didn't show any friendly expression either. Hajime tried to ignore them and sat down in his seat, but as usual, there was a nosy chatter behind him. Oi oi otaku, disgusting. You played all night again. Were those erotic games? Ew, so gross. Erotic games all night, shame on you. Is it really that funny to laugh? Hajime thought angrily. The first to ridicule Hajime was Hayama Daisuke. He was the first to pick on Hajime every day as if he was paid for it, and the other idiots next to him were Saito Yoshiki, Kondo Raichi and Nakano Shinji. They were that group of bullies that you see in any movie or manga. This gang was the one that offended him the most. Hajime was indeed an otaku, but neither his appearance nor his attitudes were disgusting or horrible. Short hair and normal, well-groomed student clothes, it was an average appearance. People offended him out of hatred. Why did all classes hate him? The reason is simple: she. Good morning, Nagumo-kun. Late as usual. You should come early. A female student smiled happily as she approached Hajime. Everyone who hated Hajime, hated because of this girl. Kaori Shirasaki was one of the most beautiful and perfect girls in the school, always kind, treating everyone well. Always with a smile on her face and a great sense of responsibility, she took care of other people and was very mature for a high school girl. She was considered a goddess by the boys at school, but to Hajime she was the devil himself. She talked more with Hajime than with the other students, which implied that she was interested in him. Hajime didn't think so. There was no reason for the perfect schoolgirl to like him. Hajime had average looks and grades, was not popular and was known as an otaku, which made all the students feel envious and think, why this guy? The students just thought that Kaori was wasting her time with him and could get someone better. That's why they didn't cast any positive glances at Hajime either. Good morning, Shirasaki-san. Where did that murderous intent come from? Hajime could only smile falsely as everyone looked at him with contempt. After hearing his good morning, Kaori showed a happy expression. Why are you so happy? Hajime wanted to ask, but that would cause the student's assassin intent to double. Even Hajime didn't know why Kaori cared so much about him. Not least because Kaori was always surrounded by kittens and there was no way she could be interested in him. Then, lucky for Hajime, 3 more people arrived who would only make the situation worse. Good morning, Nagumo-kun. Isn't it hard to deal with this every day? Kaori taking care of him again? Really, Kaori is very kind. This guy is useless no matter what you tell him. The girl who greeted him was Shizuku Yegashi. A beautiful girl who wore a long ponytail that was her trademark. She was another of the school goddesses. She was considered an elegant girl, her posture and behavior were associated with the samurai, and her family had a kendo dojo in which she participated. Many girls idolized her and called her Oni-sama. Shizuku even had a fan club. Shizuku was one of the only people in the room who didn't hate Hajime. She was Kaori's best friend, and unlike Kaori, who was an airhead, Shizuku understood what Hajime was going through and was trying to help. Next to her, who spoke with an arrogant tone, was Amanogawa Kuki. Excellent grades, a superman who was great at sports, kind to everyone and had a strong sense of justice. He got angry easily. He was a national-level Yeigashi dojo athlete, as was his childhood friend Shizuku. Several girls fall in love with him, but many don't confess because he is always with Kaori and Shizuku. The other one who mocks Hajime is Sakagami Ryotaru. Best friend of Kuki, he was part of the karate dojo, was very muscular and not that smart, which caused many to classify him as muscle brain. Good morning Yeigashi-san, Sakagami-kun, Amanogawa-kun is what they say, you reap what you plant, there is no way. Hajime spoke up and gave a wry smile. Who gave you the right to talk to Yeigashi-san? I'll kill you, was the feeling Hajime got from the classroom. Kuki warned Hajime not to take advantage of Kaori's kindness. Hajime really didn't want Kaori's kindness, but Hajime couldn't argue with Kuki because it would piss off his fans, and also Kuki was too short-tempered. Kuki-kun, what are you saying? I was just talking to Nagumo-kun. Sigh, seriously, Kaori is too kind. The classroom was bursting with assassin intent directed at just one person, and then the door opened to enter another source of trouble. You, Hajime-kun and staff. Sorry I'm late. Nagumo Rimuru, Hajime's twin brother. Long blue hair, golden eyes and had a beautiful appearance, but his appearance was also a bit androgynous, which made many students think that he was also one of the school goddesses. He was intelligent, handsome, great at sports, the only person in the dojo Yigashi who had beaten Shizuku several times. He was the kind of person who made others say to Hajime, "Why aren't you more like your brother?" Hajime didn't hate his brother though, because his brother doesn't like it when they say that phrase either. He is also an otaku like Hajime and they played a lot of games together. Even though he is popular, he doesn't get along well with Kuki, which makes some people dislike him. Hajime didn't even have to ask why Rimuru didn't like Kuki because he already knew. Kuki was really annoying. One thing that always confused Hajime was Rimuru's blue hair and golden eyes. Hajime had never heard of another person who had that hair color and all natural eyes. Hajime once asked his mother if Rimuru's hair was ever examined by a doctor, but she replied, "Of course not. If we do that, the government will come and take Rimuru away. Then the scientists will do various experiments on him." Hajime thought that was an exaggeration, but that wasn't such a big deal. The other day Hajime asked his brother if he knew anything about it, and he denied it. Rimuru once told the class that he was also an otaku, but no one believed him. They thought he said it just to improve Hajime's reputation. It was as if he was saying, popular people can also be otakus. A lot of the murderous intent dispersed and many people who were looking at me looked away. This was due to an incident that happened a while ago when Hajime was suffering a daily beating from Hayama's gang. Rimuru interrupted and asked them to leave gently, but Kondo said something like, "Get out of here or we'll beat you up too." His gentle smile turned into an expressionless stare as if he was looking at an insect, so he hit the 4 bullies and didn't get a scratch. That incident happened on the way out of school. So many people saw it and so the class was a little afraid of him. After that day Hajime asked him not to interfere anymore because it would make things worse, with people saying things like, "He's a coward who needs his brother to protect himself." Then Rimuru sat back in his seat, stretched out in his chair and let out a bomb. Wow, those two flirting again. He spoke in a natural tone and Hajime thought, "You couldn't have kept quiet." That's because when Rimuru uttered these words, the temperature in the room dropped and the envious glances increased by a lot. Shizuku laughed at the statement. She and Rimuru were quite good friends, as Rimuru had been part of her dojo since she was a child. Kaori was also good friends with Rimuru, and upon hearing his words, "Oh, what are you talking about, Rimuru-kun? I was just talking to Nagumo-kun." She looked at Hajime and blushed, then looked away and returned to her seat. Hajime could hear several tongues click in disgust. By the way, he and Kaori were not that close. The reason she called him by his first name was because Hajime and Rimuru were in the same class, so if someone called Nagumo, it could be confusing, so he asked everyone to call him Rimuru. The school bell rang and the teacher came in. Maybe she was used to the atmosphere in the classroom and didn't say anything. She then started roll call. Then the class started and Hajime slept on the desk. Meanwhile Kaori smiled seeing this scene and most of the students looked at him with disgust. Hajime woke up at break time and grabbed his lunchbox. He looked around and noticed that several students went to the cafeteria to buy snacks. So there were only 2/3 of the students in the room and teacher Hatayama Aiko. Swallow. Swallow. Hajime impressively finished his lunch in 10 seconds. Then our goddess, Kaori, sat down beside Hajime with a smile on her face. This is terrible, Hajime thought. Nagumo-kun, why don't you come and have your snack with us? A dangerous aura spread through the room once more. Hajime groaned in his mind. He didn't understand Kaori's intentions, he just knew that this would not end well. Ah, thanks for the invitation Shirasaki-san, but I'm done eating. Why don't you join Amanogawa and the others? However, the goddess, who couldn't read the mood, wouldn't give up so easily. Was that all your snack? You have to eat more. Here, take this, I'll share some of mine with you. The chill in Hajime's spine only got worse and then more trouble arrived. Kuki. Kaori, let's eat together. I won't allow someone like Nagumo as your delicious homemade food. How can he say that with a smile? Hajime thought. Why do I need your permission? Peeved, Rimuru and Shizuku tried to control their laughter but failed miserably. That's because. Kaori said it because she really didn't understand. But what she said was totally now the most popular students in the school were around Hajime's table and the stares were getting worse and worse. Hajime sighed and thought, please someone take them away from here. Hajime was about to run away but before he could he stopped. Not everyone stopped and stared in amazement at the magic circle at her feet. Rimuru was surprised by the magic circle at his feet and used his thought acceleration ability. Magic unidentified, but by language standards it says, summoning. So we are being summoned to another world, and what do you mean by unknown magic? Aren't you supposed to be the crazy one for analysis who knows everything about magic? Seal seemed a bit offended by Rimuru's words. Rimuru apologized and rephrased the question. Why don't you understand this magic? This magic pattern is unlike that of any world we have ever visited. I can't understand it well until I do some tests. I see, a new world Hein. It could be fun. Wait, Seal-san. Did you know that this would happen to this group and that is why you reincarnated me in this life? No, it's not possible. Not even you could foresee it that far, right? This silence scared me a little, but let's forget about it. The problem is that I am dealing with unknown magic. I could probably escape this circle in time, but I don't know if I would be able to find my colleagues later, so I think the best action to take is to let myself be carried away. Agreed. If Seal-san agrees, then let's go. Rimuru deactivated the thought acceleration and the magic circle glowed stronger. After that all the students disappeared from the classroom. *** bonus story. Back in Tempest, two-figure can be seen on a dining table arguing about something. Brother, please eat your vegetables, said by a girl named Shuna. I told you anything but carrots, replied by Benimaru. Please eat it or I'm gonna force those carrots into your mouth. And so Benimaru's hellish dining continuous.